pixels.cool.
Welcome to Building Rapid E-Learning using Articulate Rise 360. In this second explainer, I'll add text and images to the microlearning introducing generative AI. If you'd like to use our example text and images, you're welcome to download them from the website. Let's get started. I'll click on the generative AI project I created in the previous explainer. Apart from the title and the default image, there's no learning content here yet. Rise uses a block system to add different types of content to the page. I'll start by viewing all the available blocks. Click the All Blocks button. This opens the block library. Blocks are divided into categories, including these text blocks and these image blocks. You'll use some blocks regularly, while others are only relevant to specific use cases. For example, these basic bar and pie charts, and this interactive timeline that we're going to use later in this series. Let's start by adding a heading and some text to the start of our microlearning. In the text category, I'll select paragraph with heading. This is going to be a short welcome area. I'll edit the text to be welcome and paste in the text I've already created and saved elsewhere. Of course, you can edit text directly in Rise 360 like this, if you like. You can tweak how the block looks using the Style button and using the Format button here. I'll leave it as it is for now. If you decide you no longer want to include the current block you're working on, you can delete it by clicking the trash can towards the right. And if you want to work with multiple copies of the same block stacked on top of each other, just click the Duplicate button here. That's my first block done for now. Next, I'll add a list block to the page to list the three main objectives for this online learning content. This time, rather than opening the block menu, I'll click on the list block icon here. Rise has added a list block using default formatting, ready for me to edit the text for the list. Using these buttons to add commonly used blocks is a useful time saver, but for additional options and a small advanced preview, always open the block library first and select a block from there. Notice this small connect button between the text block and the list block. I want the list to be joined to my introductory text, so I'll click connect. As you can see, the gap between the two blocks has been removed. Rise is effectively creating a single, long, scrolling web page, so it will be important to space out your content appropriately as you go along. I'll replace the default text with my actual objectives. Before continuing, let's change the default image Rise added to the top of the page when we started working with this microlearning. This is part of the theme, so click the theme button towards the top right. The title area with the background image is referred to as the cover page. To change the default image to one of my own, I'll click on Edit, Replace Image. Select the picture I want to use from my computer. That's uploading. And there it is. As long as you select a regular JPEG or PNG image, you shouldn't run into any problems. I'll exit the theme settings. Now I've got some content, I need to start previewing the online learning to make sure it looks as I expect. Just click Preview towards the top right of the window. Notice that Rise has added animation to the appearance of the list items, which didn't show in edit mode. I can switch this preview over to see how my learning will look on tablets and on phones. These previews are useful for guidance, but always check your content on at least one actual mobile device, as different browsers can sometimes display content differently. Next, I'll add an AI-related quote to this e-learning. Click on All Blocks and select Quote. I like the look of the quote on Image block. Click the pencil icon to edit it. I'll start by replacing the default background image in the same way as before. Next, I'll paste in my quote text and add the name of the person who made the quote. Finally, I'll replace the stock avatar with the actual picture of Oriel. Preview my updated content as before to check all is well. So far so good. Before continuing on to the next explainer, practice editing the theme options for your microlearning. This includes looking at the options for user navigation as well as colours and fonts. Remember, you can use our text and images to work with. You can download them from the website. In the next explainer, I'll add a timeline block to overview some of the main recent developments in generative AI and embed a YouTube video in the microlearning.
Pixels.cool